My MOH didn't come to my bachelorette party context. I, 24, met my fiancé, 23, in college. We've been together for over 6 years. I met my MOH, 24, in college as well. We went to culinary school, so super niche, and my MOH and I became best friends by bonding over baking, taking classes together. We'll call my MOH Gianna. I've always known that I would marry my fiancé. We were each other's first real relationship, and we've felt like we were meant for each other from the beginning. Gianna has always been nothing but supportive of us throughout these past few years, and I've always known I wanted her to be my MOH. I have 3 other bridesmaids, 1 being my fiancé's sister, and 2 being close friends that I met through work within the past couple of years. I would have had another bridesmaid, however she got engaged as well, and she backed out due to not being able to contribute financially to all the events while paying for her own wedding, which I completely understood. Her and Gianna were roommates in college. We were a trio of friends. My fiancé and I got engaged Valentine's Day of this year in Hawaii. I'll note that both Gianna and my fiancé's sister flew out to surprise me for the engagement. We're getting married next year, and I decided to have my bachelorette party in early September, aka a few weeks ago. I live on the West Coast and wanted to go to a cute beach town a couple hours from me. 2 of my bridesmaids live near me, and my MOH and fiancé's sister live on the East Coast. The trip we planned was only 2 days. Drive in Friday afternoon, leave Sunday afternoon. Gianna is super type A, plans everything down to the minute, always arranges her outfits, the whole 9 yards, overall loves to be in control of a situation. She has been like that since school, so I have been aware of this. I thought it would be a good trait to have as MOH when it came down to planning events. She wanted pretty much the whole Bach trip to be a surprise. However, I gave her a general idea of the vibe. Activities that I want to do. I'm super low-key, don't drink, party, and just wanted to have a relaxing time with all my closest friends. Maybe go to the beach, have a nice dinner, go to brunch, etc. I didn't know much about the planning, but one of my bridesmaids was basically a liaison and would discuss plans with me, report back to Gianna, etc. I also planned for my wedding dress shopping to be happening the day before we left for the trip. We arranged for my parents, Gianna, and fiancé's sister to fly across the country to partake. Now, time for the tea. It's about a week and a half before the Bach party, and I'm talking with my bridesmaids about the trip. The itinerary was revealed to me, and I was a bit overwhelmed. We were waking up before sunrise to drive there. We were going on several different hikes. We were spending a lot of time driving around, etc. It was literally planned out, to the minute. 6:30 to 6:45, do this. 6:45 to 7:15, do that, etc. And it would have been impossible to try and accomplish everything. Long story short, it wasn't as low-key as I was hoping, and my bridesmaids said they could chat with Gianna about cutting out a couple of the activities, mostly the hiking because I'm not outdoorsy. Gianna initially had a neutral response, but was acting more distant, saying, "Whatever you think is best," and stuff like that. Ultimately, though, she left the Bach group chat and texted me a long message that can be summarized as follows. "This trip is a disappointment. It's a dumpster fire. I could have taken you on a trip to Europe, just you and me, and I would have paid for the whole thing." They, the rest of the bridesmaids, weren't making any suggestions. I struggled to make the trip affordable for everyone else. I don't want to fly across the country to sit in an Airbnb. I don't want to come. Safe to say I was shocked. Yes, I understand that I wanted to change the plans a bit, and it was a bit last minute, but we were not changing plans that we had already been paid for, or anything like that. I told her I was sorry for making her feel like I didn't appreciate her time and effort, but I did appreciate her. And that ultimately, I still wanted her to come because I just wanted to have a fun time hanging out with all of my friends. I told her I was stressed at work and just wanted a chill and relaxing weekend, and I didn't want to go on the trip if she wasn't there. She clapped back with, "You can't stay stuck in the Airbnb dwelling about your problems. The other bridesmaids wouldn't look at my PowerPoint." I'm at a time where I'm taking my life into my own hands. I don't give a shit about making friends with the other bridesmaids. I know you best. I'm sorry you feel stuck in life, and I'm not coming. Shocked, yet again. I figured she was just upset at me, which I completely understood. I tried to talk to her on the phone, but she would not pick up any of my calls. I told her it was unfair of her to do that, and that we needed to talk. She proceeded to text, "I don't give a flying fuck about your friends. I'm not threatened by them. This trip isn't special enough and no one wanted to put in the effort. If you're struggling so much financially, then you can reconsider your living situation." She then proceeded to bring up her emotionally abusive ex from over a year ago and how apparently I didn't support her enough. She also brought up that she has lost trust in me because I tell my fiancé everything. She then emphasized again that she doesn't want to come. I said fine, I can't change her mind, but I needed some time to think. I go on the Bach trip without her and have a great time with the rest of my bridesmaids. Flash forward a couple weeks, and I decide to reach out to her to try and make amends. I ask if we could talk on the phone, and she says yes, but, for the record, we're fine, and I'm fine. I tell her that I have a few things I need to get off my chest, that I was hurt by a couple of the things she said during our conversation a couple weeks ago. She says, "Okay, so that's not how this is going to work. You're only bringing this up to make me feel bad about my decision. I meant the things I said, and I won't apologize. You wouldn't be bringing this up if you really wanted to make amends." I told her I just wanted her to apologize for how she was making me feel. If it truly wasn't intentional, wouldn't that be the least I could ask for? If she really cares about me and loves me, wouldn't she feel bad that I feel hurt? I asked her why she brought up her ex at a time like this, when I thought it was long over and she had worked through it. She comes in hot with this one. Reality check. I knew she was going to pop off from here. Your life is your creation. You chose to move across the country. You chose to follow your fiancé. You chose this new job. You begged to get married. This should be the happiest time of your life. You've gotten everything you've ever wanted, but you're hating every second of it. You should wake up every day and be grateful for what you have. I'm not going to apologize for how I made you feel because I didn't hold you down and inject sadness and stress into you. We didn't move past X's name because I basically hid my feelings from you to protect yours. I pretty much addressed all her points, and then some. But I decided then and there to not have her as my MOH. I wished her well in life, but I told her that if this much drama was coming from a bachelorette party, how can I know some shenanigans won't happen on my wedding day? My friends were telling me that it seems like she's not in a good place mentally, or else she wouldn't be bringing up her ex. She also couldn't stop talking about how she didn't care to be friends with the rest of my bridesmaids and that she wasn't threatened by them, which I thought was odd. Just overall a really strange situation that I still feel like is a fever dream. She has been my best friend for years, and this totally changed my point of view of her. Am I wrong for rethinking our friendship and removing her as my MOH? Almost 7 months later, I recently got married, woohoo, and it was absolutely beautiful. All of my closest family and friends were there to celebrate, and it couldn't have been more perfect. My mom took a ton of photos and posted them on Facebook. My old college roommate reached out to me for details on where Gianna, ex-MOH, was since she wasn't in the photos. But here's some backstory. My old college roommate, we'll call her Daisy, and I were in a friend group with Gianna and a couple other people. We were close, but we had all moved away after college and went our separate ways. Daisy ended up getting engaged around 2 years ago, and Gianna was one of her bridesmaids. There was a whole situation, and according to what Gianna had told me, she said that Daisy was forcing the bridal party to pay for a huge bridal shower at a winery, and she didn't feel comfortable doing that. Daisy's MOH had kicked Gianna out of the group chat, and Gianna and Daisy never spoke again. At the time, I believed Gianna, resulting in me rarely speaking with Daisy, but we still wished each other happy birthday, etc. Flash forward to a week ago. Daisy texts me and asks why Gianna wasn't in any of my mom's photos on FB. She knew she was my MOH, and I told her the whole story. When I tell you, my flabbers were gasted when she told me that Gianna had done the exact same thing to her. Gianna, only being a bridesmaid, had suggested they do an all-inclusive trip to Mexico for the Bach party, and a lot of the bridal party were not comfortable paying for that, which people were openly vocal about. Gianna removed herself from the group chat and bridal party, saying that Daisy didn't deserve her, and that she just wanted everything to be perfect, and that Daisy's MOH was bullying her. I told Daisy that I was so sorry that happened to her, and that as a result of their friendship breaking up, my friendship with her broke up as well. She was super understanding, and we bonded over the whole thing. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to my channel. There are many great stories for you on my channel. Thank you for watching.